Hi, I'm Josh Johnson, pitching instructor for the Manuel Foundation, and today we're going to talk about some pitching. So here we have a young man who's been working for a while. His name is Josiah Taylor. And one of the things that we're going to work on first, just talking about, is balance. I believe that balance is one of the most important things for a pitcher. If you don't have the balance when you're on the mound, you can't control where your body's going. If you don't know where your body's going, you don't know where the ball is going. And the number one thing for a pitcher is command. So here with Josiah, the way he's standing on the mound, he's tall, he's ready, his feet are balanced, he's controlled. He's going to take a step backwards and go into his motion. Now as he turns the foot and he raises the leg, he stops. And at this position right here, he's in full balance. Full balance means the head is over the rubber, over the ball of his foot. He's in full control and he can hold his position for as long as he wants. He's been working on this for a long time. As he separates his hands and he starts to move down the mound, he's still under full control and he lands balanced. Everything is under control. He's not too far backwards, he's not too far forward. He's under control and still in line with home plate, which we'll talk about in a second. This is a textbook position for the most part, although I might have the hand just a little bit higher right here. That to me is, that's very, very good. So here we're starting over. We're going to go back up to the balance point. So he takes a step, he turns, we're back to balance point, good. Now he has to initiate the movement towards home plate. As he initiates the movement towards home plate, there are a couple of ways to do that correctly. The most important thing is that this hip will lead and that your head will stay over the rubber as long as possible. Part of that is for balance. The other part is to maintain his ability to use his hips once he lands and he goes through. So he's going to start by having this hip come out first, and we'll go out, boom. Now we've landed stacked. We call this the stacked position, where you're equal balanced right here on your front and your back foot. Hand is high, good, above the ear, hand is out here. Now this position, he would normally in a full stride be a little bit further out, but he'll drive with the back leg, which will push the hips through, and we'll get the hips open first. Shoulders stay closed. Now as the shoulders come through, we're going to what we call shoulder square. Boom, here. You notice that his glove also came through and is going to end up backside here on the chest. Arm will go into what we call a full layback position or the external rotation. All that means is that we're fully back like this in a full cocked position. Hand is here, we're good, shoulders are square. Now we go chest down. Chest comes down, arm goes through full acceleration, back leg is in full drive, and then we're all the way through. And then we finish completion of the pitch. So next, something that we have to focus on is making sure that the body's doing the work and the arm is not doing the work. If the arm is doing the work, then we're adding extra strain and stress to the arm. We don't want that. We want the body to do the work. We want to use the big muscles. We want to use the gluteus maximus. We want to use his hips and his core. We want his core to be turning. We want his body to do the work coming down the mound and not put the extra strain on this elbow and this shoulder. So to do that, we're going to stay nice and fluid and make sure that we have full hip clearance before the shoulders go. Josiah is a pretty good example of that. So he's going to go through his motion here. Good. As you notice that he landed under control, also well balanced. His eyes are towards the target and he's in a good fielding position. But going back to his actual mechanics, he was fluid and smooth. You saw how the body's doing the work, the arm is not. It's not just a quick arm movement, it's an actual legs and core movement coming down the mound to throw downhill to work down in the strike zone. All right, so the fourth point here is that we need to throw strikes. Strikes are the most important thing in baseball. As a pitcher, if I'm not throwing strikes, a walk, I cannot defend. The defense doesn't have a real chance to work here. So first pitch strikes, number one, we want to get ahead in the count. If we fall behind 1-0, now we have to work back from where we were. We want to go 0-1 as often as possible. Now the hitter's at a disadvantage, we're in the driver's seat, that's exactly where we want to be. What that means is that we need to be able to command the fastball for strikes. If we can't command our fastball for strikes, we'll be in trouble. Okay, and the last and final point here is understanding that pitchers work and operate under extreme pressure. The pitcher is the only player on the field, aside from maybe the catcher, who hopefully is working quietly behind the plate. The pitcher is working and doing every pitch of the whole game, and everybody's watching it the entire game. The eyes are all on the pitcher. That's where the crowd goes to. He's like the quarterback of the baseball field. So that being said, when you recognize that you're working under that amount of pressure, you have to be able to control your emotions on the field. Body language is number one, that your shoulders should always be back, head up, tall, do not look defeated. You need to look like you're under control. Number two is controlling your breathing. Having a reset button on the field. For example, I like to use a drainage hole on the field or step behind the mound or something to where something goes wrong, you step off the mound, take a step on your reset button, and take a deep breath. Breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4, relax, calm your nerves, and then go right back to work. And that keeps you in a good calm state. It keeps you from getting into a victim situation while you're on the field. You don't feel like you're under attack by the hitter or the umpire or the crowd. You are controlling the game, and it is all you. That is the most important thing as a pitcher.